gosh, I should have been busy an hour ago. But you get sitting, time ticks away and it's just kind of relaxing. But I'm planning on decoupaging something today. I got some of that Podge, and I'm not sure how to use it. I'm going to either have to look up a YouTube or read the directions, and I can't decide which is less trouble.
We're leading with the Mod Podge.
What's wrong with Mod Podge?
There's really nothing else going on.
Do you even know what Mod Podge is?
Unfortunately, I do.
How do you know? How do you know about Mod Podge?
That's another thing that you like to do daily.
What, Mod Podge? I've never used the stuff. I don't even know how to use it. Oh. But anyway, I'm going to look that up. Here's my deal. I had a bunch of old doors, and you know the old doors that have been in the way forever. So the one that we cut in half last week, I painted up, and I cut two of them virtually in half, bar height. I'm making a bar out of them. And that old piece of plywood that was out back, that is the perfect size for the top of this bar. So if you can picture, these are panel doors. So it's going to look really nice. And now that it's painted up, it looks really nice, because before it was just scuffy.
So you're going to have your own bar? You're going to put the one up the road out of business, huh?
I don't think so. I'll do my best. Oh
my God, you didn't really order another package from the amazing company yet today.
I said I got Mod Podge.
There he is.
Come on in, Des.
Hello, Des.
How are you?
Hi, come on in.
Are you doing the donut hole?
Yeah.
Donut holing?
Yes, we're donut holing.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guess what? I got that Mod Podge stuff out of the box that you brought in yesterday.
Oh, that's great. What's that mean?
That is glue. It's a kind of glue.
Oh, hey.
And you know that green thing that was outside the other day that was painted, that you saw I had painted some. That is kind of a story. Though I have 4 old panel doors that have been kicking around in the way. They're heavy. I've moved them 50 different places because they're just always where I wish they weren't.
Doors?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What'd you think they were?
I don't know. I tend not to think too much when I'm out doing my job.
Yeah, just shut up and drive.
I don't want to think too much.
Anyway, that package yesterday had the Mod Podge in it. And so today I'm hoping you brought me, I ordered these, I think they're facsimiles, of wine labels. And I'm going to Mod Podge the top, put the wine labels on there. And that's a sealer. It's a glue and a sealer from what I understand. And so I think I have to sand that. That'll be Dosh's job for today.
You were wondering if what you ordered today was...
Is it light?
Well, it doesn't smell like wine labels.
Are you sniffing the packages?
Oh, yeah, sure. And I shake them and yeah.
Jump on
He
them.
lays hands on them and closes his eyes.
Sure.
So do you see how high you can toss them into the air?
About 3 feet so far, depending on how heavy they are,
No, really, was it heavy?
No, so
I'll
6
open
feet.
I'll open it in a minute. I'm just too lazy to go. Did you leave it? You left it out there
Yeah,
in
it's
the
where
patio.
the instructions were to leave it there. So I can bring it up though. Doesn't cost you any extra for me to bring it up here, but
Well, no, especially since you're here for coffee
It cost a donut hole.
and use the bathroom.
maybe you want your listeners to hear you opening the box and your expression is like, "Wow."
Oh, you mean?
And then an unboxing video.
Yeah.
Oh,
With audio only. Wow, I can't believe what I've just unboxed.
The kids used to love to watch those YouTube things where they opened up packages of candy, and those people had deals with the candy company and the toy company.
And
in
then
there.
they taste them, and I'm like, I've seen those too. I've watched those, and I'm like, me and my ex-wife used to watch those.
Really?
Yeah, that could be.
So there's hope for us then.
No, I said ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
Oh, you mean making the videos? Yeah.
No, I'm already married.
Oh, are you ever, buddy? You'll never be free.
Unless you watch too many unboxing candy.
Remember that old joke about the lady? She comes down. Let's see if I remember it. She comes down in the morning and her husband is sobbing. He's just sobbing. And she goes, "What's the matter with you?" He says, "Remember how your father came out with the shotgun and said I had to marry you or I was going to go to jail for 20 years? And she goes, "Yeah." And he says, "Today's the day I would have got out."
That's good. I have to remember that.
To tell your ex-wife?
No, for no reason.
Are you still friends?
It's a good joke.
Are you still friends with her?
Yeah, I think so. Not any less than we were when we were married.
Can you have a conversation, an enjoyable conversation?
Sure, if I'm by myself, yeah. Oh, you mean with her? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean with her.
Yeah.
I think you and I would stay friends. Josh?
I don't know. Let's find out.
I could take that very badly. Life for you could take a serious downturn.
So, wait, you were telling me about the doors you were working on.
Okay. Anyway, back to my bar, back to serious topics.
Not the 70s
And
band.
you and I will discuss this divorce thing later.
I'm going to keep the recorder going all day.
Your Honor. She clearly said here that.
For safety purposes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I cut the 2 doors in half. The lower half has long panels. The panels that are in the doors are in graduated sizes, with the longest ones being toward the bottom, then a medium-sized one, and then a small little, it's probably 8-inch square.
Paper and a pencil for this?
No, just shut up and listen, and you'll do fine. Focus. Anyway, so I cut the bottom panel off right across the equator of the door where the knob, I took the knob off, by the way, before I did all of this. Anyway, cut that across. And so the bottom section is 36 inches high, which is bar height. And then the leftover portion is about that same height. I think I cut off 10 inches more off just to throw away. Anyway, so that's going to serve as the back of the bar. And I went yesterday and I got some mending plates. So I'm going to join the 2 top sections together. I don't like the look on your face. You both look like this.
There's nothing else going on in the world right now? Or?
Oh, there's a lot going on in the world. Anyway, long story short, and then we'll talk about what's going on in the world.
This is for those of you doing this project at home right now. She's going to talk you through it.
Heck, if I can't even talk the 2 people who are sitting at the table with me through it, God help anybody.
You want to have a dusting of flour on that first. And then.
And a very sharp knife. Anyway, so I'll join the 2 leftover sections. They'll become the back of the bar. I had a piece of plywood that I also painted the same color. It's kind of an apple green, like a Granny Smith green. Anyway, so I painted it. However, there was a problem with the paint, a big problem with the paint. But I'm too cheap to throw it. What it was, that gallon of paint.
Caught fire?
No, it was out in the shed for a long time, but it was the exact right color, and I hate to waste stuff, so I went out there, and that paint had kind of separated, and it didn't smell the best. But I made the executive decision to use it. Stop shaking your head, Dosh. I made the decision to use it anyway, and so I've had to leave the unassembled bar out there for a little bit to off gas because the smell is not pleasant. So I'm praying, I really am praying about it, that unpleasantness will dissipate.
That's a good sign of any project is prayer. And then we end my project with a prayer. It's like, here, I've made dinner, and we're going to end it with a prayer. Oh, to give thanks for the meal? No, never mind. I won't explain, but just trust me.
I figure I'll give everybody an extra drink, and then in case that foul odor doesn't go away, they won't notice it as much after an extra little libation.
Hey, I'll be right back. Hey, get out. Hey.
Is that the goats?
Hey.
Somebody's stealing the packages, I think.
I never saw that old guy move so fast.
Oh my God.
I don't think. Here he comes back.
Sorry.
What was going on?
Oh, I sometimes leave the side of the van open and the squirrels get in there. The squirrels do not like me for some reason. I can deliver to
I
places.
would think that they'd be very attracted
No.
to you, and I'm not going to
nuts?
say
Is that
why.
what you're saying? No, but they do bother me more than like dogs running around and barking and stuff. The squirrels and they're my enemies. They don't like me. I don't know why.
Do they have it in for you? Let's discuss
Well,
this.
yes, yeah. So
That could be bad. Is it one squirrel that you have?
they must communicate through their network or whatever it is. Their nutwork. The squirrel nutwork. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. What were you talking about?
Anyway, so I'm hoping it will off-gas enough. I'm going to Mod Podge at the top, maybe today.
How do you spell that?
Modge, Podge, Podge. And it's a glue, and you put it down. That's what, it's an
real thing?
adhesive.
That's a real
Yeah, you brought it.
Well, I didn't open it. I have no idea what they are.
Anyway, so that's kind of the plan for today, I think, unless it's still a little bit aromatic. So that's that. So,
So what else is going on?
I have a question for you, both of you. What is a pimp cane? What's a pimp cane?
Do I look like somebody that should know?
Well, I don't know. You
Yeah,
guys know.
That's you'd have to. Yeah, well, pimp cane is a cane that a pimp would walk with, mostly in the 70s. You know, when he's
Being a fancy guy, a dandy kind
yeah, it's flamboyant, and it's like usually has like it's ornate and has like a gold handle on it and everything. It's like, you know, in the 70s they would have their big giant fancy hats and furry long jackets.
I love
and
that. I love that. That was
those
really
were the guys
cool.
that would smack around the prostitutes that work for them. Yeah. So yeah. So, you know, everybody loves something different, you know.
That's not what I
I'm
was
not a
saying.
big fan of that, but you know,
So is that what the Democratic Party has adopted now?
the pimp cane. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that, did we? The
No,
pimp canes.
yesterday we were. It's
Oh, yeah,
funny
you did
because
mention that, yeah.
yesterday we were talking about canes.
I got confused with the other couple places
Well,
I've
I
done
would-
podcast sit-ins with when I deliver stuff. I do 3 of these a day, you know. I deliver more than one.
Wait a minute. We're under exclusive contract, I thought.
Really? Oh, whoops. So, what were you thinking about the?
Anyway, I don't think that you can call Nancy Pelosi's cane a pimp cane.
Pimp S?
Pinterest?
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to go there. Anyway, apparently it's a thing. People are noticing that there seem to be a lot of canes. And I love it. I just think
Say
that's-
maybe it's a Democratic thing now. Pimp canes and paddles.
pimp canes and paddles.
Sounds like a song.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that group from the late 60s.
Oh, it was a group. Oh.
You know, Jonathan Pimp.
Well, now it's a
Kane
new.
and-
Now it's a new group. But the
Jonathan Pimp Kane and
Democrats.
Stephanie Battles.
The noisy Democrats.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I was reading here and there more stuff about the speech the other night. And
Oh, you watched it again.
no, I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't have that kind of time, buddy. I really don't. That's why this podcast is pretty short, because how would I get on to my Mod Podging and my bar making and all my sourdough?
Pimp caning.
Now I got to get me one of those.
Paddling and- So what
Made out of a tree.
what were you thought about it again?
Well, anyway, I was reading more follow-up on the speech, and most people do.
Oh, you didn't have time.
I didn't listen to the whole speech, but I was just looking at reactions to the speech, and most people think that it was pretty kazowy that the speech was as long as it was. Most people also think that he did a great job. He didn't seem old, because let's face it, he's not a spring chicken, even though he would love us to think so, but. And there was a lot of backlash that people thought that the Democrats should have had more decorum. But I thought the passive-aggressive pink, the paddles, all of that was good. I like that. I think, okay, this is healthy. No, don't you think it is? I mean, it wasn't like storming the Capitol or anything like
I
that.
wondered if you just heard what you said. The passive aggressive pink, the paddles, the pimp canes. It's like,
That's not. We're not
Just how
that
Washington-
kind of podcast.
just how Washington would
Never
have
mind.
liked it.
Never mind. You got a foul
Benjamin
mind.
Franklin.
Do
probably had
something. Do something about him.
Benjamin Franklin had a pimp cane.
Do you think you could come in here with a package?
Oh, I think I know what's in there now. A bunch of paddles and pimp canes,
And peanuts.
and peanuts, and wine labels.
Give him another donut hole. That'll keep him quiet for a minute.
The passive aggressive pink, the paddles. It's like,
He's one of those disruptors. Are you a disruptor? No, he's an influencer. That's what he is.
I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me.
That's right.
We don't shoot anybody around here. We just float them out on the water and shoot a flaming arrow.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So,
Anyway, people are saying that, okay, so there's been criticism, it's all over the place. I'm not going to cite sources and things
need
like
to-
that. I'm
just-
just,
just
my
have a
job is to just kind of digest the opinions. And I'm just a mouthpiece, which I'm good at. Anyway, people are saying that that the Democrats could have done better to act happy. But then, afterwards, last night, I came across Bernie's take on the speech. Bernie Sanders. And I have to say, it was soul-stirring, is the best way I can describe it. He went through every single thing that, for all intents and purposes, lost the Democrats that election. Every single thing. The cost of medicine, high prices, unaffordable housing. The list is long. And he correctly pointed out that in all that almost 2-hour speech, there was not one single mention of any of those real issues that lost the Democrats the election and won it for the Republicans. And so, all laughing aside, it isn't funny. And he's saying now we have tens of thousands more people who had good, solid jobs with the government. They're now on the unemployment rolls. The prices are going up. There's no new housing in sight. There's talk of cutting Medicaid that so many people depend on. And his point, as far as I'm concerned, is well taken. Those are real issues. You know, at this point, I really don't care about the Panama Canal. I'm not lusting after Greenland, for God's sake. And when we really break it all down and say, what does this mean for people like me? You know, I got my little life. My biggest issue now is whether the sour paint that I used is going to off-gas in time to let me continue my little project made with junk that's been in my way. But for me, the costs of things. When I go to that grocery store and I have to make decisions about whether I'm going to put a thing of cookies in the cart or not, that's an issue. And Social Security is an issue, and it makes me nervous. And so the talk, just generally, a lot of people are very nervous because of this.
Nervous. That's what they want.
What's the advantage, though? I mean,
To
really.
you to do what they want. It's like a bully will do though. A bully will say stuff to make you afraid, and then you become their only. Well, I'll protect you. All these people are trying to beat you up. So, but if you give me your lunch money, then I'll keep them from beating you up. It's like, okay. And meanwhile, I don't know.
You don't got no lunch money.
Yeah. And nobody's beating you up because nobody was going to beat you up anyway. They're just inciting fear in that. That's an old tactic. It's not anything new. Hitler did it. So.
That's not to say that there won't be good. There will be good, I think, that will come out of this administration and at looking at things with a different eye. I don't debate that. I think that can be good, but I don't think you can lose sight of just the everyday issues. It's not sexy.
Bernie's not new.
No.
Right? So what are his?
Bernie marched at Selma, for God's
Okay.
sake. That to me is amazing. That we are lucky enough to have a statesman who was there.
Well, so in his thing that his I don't know, his speech or whatever he did afterwards, he pointed out like all the issues and stuff. What did he have any answers for those? Did he have any ideas, or was he just saying, I don't like this, I don't like that? Because you got to have solutions.
Yeah. Bottom line,
Right?
everybody got to pay the piper. Everybody. That includes the billionaire class. If the top 1% actually paid taxes the way you do, and I'm sure you feel the squeeze like we do, if everybody pays their fair share, we can fund this stuff and we don't have to worry about it. But it comes down to that. When the CEO of a corporation pays less in taxes than the secretary at the front desk, and she's got 3 kids or whatever to support, and they're out buying mega yachts that are like a floating village, there's something wrong. And if we allow that, if the public allows that, if we smile and go, oh, that's the rich for you, or that's celebrities, boy, I wish I was like that, and we don't put our foot down and say, wait a second, you just bought an election. When a single donor can donate hundreds of millions of dollars to a single candidate's campaign, we got us trouble.
That's why I don't think it was smart for like the Harris campaign for Harris herself to brag about how much money she raised. I don't think that's appealing to people because it kind of ties in what you're saying about nobody wants to be like, look how much money we raised. We had Beyonce here and all these celebrities that people tune that out now. I think.
I don't know. A lot of the stars.
But
if
again,
you have
Trump did have Lee Greenwood, so there you go. He fought back with the equal amount of Beyonce and Lee Greenwood.
Don't you like Lee Greenwood? You like his song? That's very patriotic. Everybody likes
Yeah, I
that.
bought his greatest hits album and it only had one song on it. But anyway, no, but I get what you're saying.
I heard he repurposed that same song for Canada.
Is that true?
I think so. I haven't fact checked, but in fact, I'll put that on Dave's to-do list. Anyway, but Bernie, that was one of the things he said. If the billionaire class pays their fair share in taxes, do you remember that? Who was the guy that was always talking about fair tax, where you just basically pay when you buy stuff?
Oh yeah, it was, can't remember
That you're not gonna send in your money at the end of the year in your tax payment. But every time you buy something, if you buy a fridge, there's a tax on it. If you buy any goods other than like regular groceries, if you buy a dish drainer or a new rug for the front door or stuff like that, there'll be a little bit of
paddles.
Well, those are going to be tax-free.
Well, also Bernie said we need to get the private money out of elections and have those publicly funded.
Well, I've always said anybody can be president except one kind of person, and that's a poor person. So yeah, I don't know how somebody with no money could never run for president.
Well, what would the ideal, if we could engineer the ideal candidate for these times right now, what kind of things would we be looking for in a candidate?
Rich person?
Yeah, someone with a lot of money. Yeah, I want to know they're successful and know how to run a business before they can run a country.
Well, you've heard the saying, salt the pot. You've heard the saying.
Bribery?
No, it's if you're looking for donations. Let's say you're busking on the street or something like that. You're playing your harmonica and your guitar and singing on the street corner, and you put out your tin cup.
Yeah.
You never ever put out an empty cup, because it doesn't.
Yeah, gotcha.
it suggests to people that no one finds you worthwhile worth throwing in their 50 cents or $1 or $2. So you salt the pot. And to your point about the Harris campaign, when you talk about getting a lot of donation money, it makes people think that that there are people who find what you're saying worthy, you know. And so I think it's akin to salting the pot.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I don't find it offensive. I just find it as a technique to encourage donations.
Bribery.
No.
It's manipulation still, though. Salt in the pot is a form of manipulation.
Aren't commercials?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All marketing is manipulation.
Yeah, they have all those all the medications and stuff that they tout, and then they're always singing and dancing about the great freedom they have now that they have this prescription, and then it's like 30 seconds of side effects, including death and dismemberment and anal bleeding and blindness, and it's like, but the people are still dancing in the streets about this great drug that now they can take to keep them from having the sniffles when a flower comes out.
About it. And I think pretty much all commercials are either drug ads or lawyers.
Yeah.
And celebrities and sports people, a lot of sports stuff, and especially for like the sports betting and all of that, and that concerns me, because in media, I know that TV ratings. I sound like Trump because he's all about TV ratings, and which he's a master at it. Let's be real. That broadcast television has taken a big hit because of cable channels, and now podcasts like this, streaming, all of these other sources of information and news and entertainment, et cetera, et cetera. But in a lot of states, they don't allow betting. They don't. It's illegal. And I know New York State is one of them. And yet, during those...
New York State doesn't allow betting?
They did for a little while.
They did for a little while, and then they pulled back on that. However, the ads still run in the national spots in programming. So the people... those spots are running in the state of New York within the context of a national.
Are you talking about like those phone apps and stuff, or I don't even know the names of them.
betting
But
things.
yeah, I got you.
Fan Drool or something like that.
Yeah.
Drool. Yeah, they should have given it the Homer Simpson test and rhymed it out with everything. But
Getting back to Bernie Sanders, though, I just realized. So after that address to Congress or whatever, somebody else, I forget her name, she came out and had like a response, right? The Democratic response.
slot.
So then Bernie he just posted his own thing. Well, he's the only independent, the only one, right?
I don't know if he's the only one, but he's certainly the most prominent one.
Right.
And he's now pointing out that he thinks that the optics of having all of these billionaires standing behind Trump at the inauguration, known donors in massive amounts of money.
It wasn't just
He's
the billionaires.
sounding
It wasn't just the billionaires that was shocking. It was like all the former presidents and all these other people that they go around and like saying, "Oh, this person's Hitler. This is the end of democracy," and then they're all just like chumming around. So it's a private club. Whenever there's a presidential library that opens, you'll see how chummy they are. It's a small group of people, and it's smaller because there's only maybe five former presidents, five presidents ever alive at the same time. So it's a tiny, tiny private club. So and that's what I mean. They try to manipulate you with fear. Fear your enemy. My enemy is your enemy. Fear them. And so it's like but then meanwhile they go out to dinner and they laugh about it. And they're all rich, so.
Well, at least it's honest. I mean,
Yeah.
you're putting it right out there.
What do you mean?
That the country is being run by big money. That's honest.
That's irrefutable. It's right in your face now.
Yeah.
I think this has been true I don't think to this extent,
But it's
but it
not-
has been true for a long time, because I think that the whole idea of the internet and these big internet companies, these social media companies, the dynamic now is less in-person, face-to-face business, reciprocity, that sort of thing. And it's a lot more ordering. I mean, certainly does. You're maybe at the bottom of the food chain with that
Yay!
delivering. But hey, don't you wish you had invested in a company making cardboard?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Think about it. Think about it. Every single thing that everybody has to order, guess what the common denominator is? Cardboard.
And I've worked for big companies, and I was a big shot at one time.
I believe that.
And then there's something, I don't know, and oddly there's something, I don't know, bohemian about delivering to people and meeting people and stuff. I don't know what it is. It's hard to explain.
I think you're a people person,
Yeah.
and I know you're a very caring person.
I deliver one package an hour apparently. So
I would have to suspect that
Not very
maybe
good at
maybe
my job.
maybe your production isn't the best.
No.
It's so maybe don't keep your eye open for other opportunities. I'm just saying.
But I think there's so basically what I'm saying is I've had jobs where I've had I've been a big corporate tool, and I've been like a office manager and a big account manager, and I've worked for big studios and stuff, and I've had my fancy office in the high rise and all that stuff, and you feel disconnected from humanity. And I've made lots of money, and then doing this, there's a certain bit of how do they say that? What's the Mark Twain saying about travel? Do you remember that? He said something about traveling.
That it's impossible to.
The biggest cure of
Travel is fatal to bigotry and
hatred.
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travel is fatal to bigotry and ignorance, or something like that, right? And hatred.
Yeah.
The gist of it. We got the
Yeah.
gist of it. And it was, the thing is how many other things from Mark Twain can we quote? Not very many. But that one absolutely
My
kind of
favorite-
sticks in everybody's craw.
I think my favorite quote of his is like, "Look out." That's when there was a horse coming at him. But there was.
You know what? That's a good one. That's a good one.
But yeah, you'll find you guys have traveled, right?
Yeah.
So you'll find that you can watch something on TV and or read a book or whatever. What I like when I travel is to say if you're going to the Great Pyramids or something. You're presented with an image, and maybe it all ties into manipulation and stuff, how everything is a manipulation or whatever. You think it's like, oh, this is majestic, and I'm sure they are and everything. I've not been, but what fascinates me is seeing that experience of where you would stay, what hotel you would stay in, how you would get from that hotel to the actual site, and what's there. I think people would be surprised that there are tons of tourist attractions and souvenir shops and stuff peppered all around there. It's not just some like crazy thing in the middle of nowhere that people can walk to and look at. It's an industry.
It's like
You know what I mean?
It's like Area 51. From what I understand, I've never been, but I understand that it's loaded up with like gift shops and alien themed.
Not really. I think there's just only one little coffee shop there or something.
Is there?
Yeah, it's really literally in the middle of nowhere.
And the Louvre, right?
Oh yeah,
That-
I have been
No,
there.
the Louvre is not near Area 51.
No, but they're in the same area, right? The Louvre. But in the Louvre, though, I was surprised to learn there's a McDonald's and a Starbucks there. I
Yeah,
thought that
there
was.
is.
There's a whole food court.
There is.
See, that's what I mean.
And you
People
know what?
don't think
There's
of
a
that.
there's a whole underneath the Louvre. They have that glass pyramid out. It's like a concourse or an esplanade, they'd call it out there, and you go in the there's like a lobby. I'll call it a.
Shopping.
Yeah, underneath is a
Mall,
shopping thing.
yeah.
It's a mall, and they've got all kinds of very cool,
Now does-
like museum shops.
here's the
It's
thing.
fun to go there.
Does the commercialism ruin the mystique and the?
Not for me, sweetie.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Because you went and had lunch there, probably, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
people
you
people
have-
do that.
It takes. You
what do you-
could go there every day for a week and still not see and appreciate the whole place. And after 3 or 4 hours there, you are so hungry your hands are shaking, I can guarantee. And all you want is something quick and just kind of revitalize yourself and get off your feet. Oh my gosh, my feet! I wore the wrong shoes. Oh, it was painful. But there was no thought that I wanted to quit and go home and change. Go back to the hotel and change shoes or anything, because it is positively, staggeringly wonderful. And they have, I think it's a Sunday. One Sunday a month is free. So the
Free
public.
Big Macs?
No, not free.
Oh.
Big Mac. Free,
Come to the Louvre for your free Big Mac.
entry into the Louvre.
Oh.
And I love
They
going
have a
there.
T-shirt that says "You'll Louvre it."
No, but they should.
Yeah.
They should.
Put one on your store.
I'll make one. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, I gotta run. I gotta make a phone
No,
call.
he has to run. I hear the GPS thing going off out there.
right.
Sorry.
All right.
It's been nice chatting with you.
Get
Yeah,
going.
I'll
I'm
see ya.
sure we'll see you soon,
We'll see
Des.
All right.
you and
Have a good
everybody
one.
next time.
Bye.
Next time.